Hi everybody, it's Mr. Jarvis. So today we're going to do a review from Unit 3 from Fundations Level 2. So this is with when we do the closed syllable exception words, so we'll get to that in a minute, what that is. So just as a reminder. So I'm going to start off with a joke today. All right, so I'm going to start doing my lessons with a joke every time. So the joke is, so why did the student eat his homework? So why do you think the student ate his homework? Because the teacher told him it was a piece of cake. So there's your joke. All right. So hopefully you found that funny. All right. If you haven't already, go ahead and stand up. Let's get that blood moving. We'll start with our quick drill. Are we ready? So looking right here. Do it with me. Y, U, Q, U, qua. B, b. A, I, G, g. E, O, J, j. C, K, k. C, H, ch. T, H, th. W, H, w. S, H, sh. C, k. D, d. S, s. And what other sound does S make? That's right. Z, like in the word rose. Okay, very good. All right, let's do our glued sounds. Let's start over here. Just do them with me. Ong, am, unk, an, ung, all, ink, onk, ang, ank, ing. And I didn't go into this much last week, but remember glued sounds have 2 or 3 letters in them, and they're glued together to make one sound, okay? So we give them one tap. An, onk, okay? All right, let's do some R-controlled vowels. See if you remember those R-controlled vowels. Ready? Or, R, and And which 3 R-controlled vowels are the same that all make the sound That's right. ER, IR, and UR. A lot of times you'll see ER at the end of a word. IR and UR will typically come in the middle of a word. Okay, so that's our R-controlled vowels. Good job, guys. All right, let's go ahead and do some vowel teams. Remember, vowel teams are when you have 2 vowels together, and they usually say the name of the first vowel. Not always, but usually will say the name of the first vowel. Okay, so AI, bait, what sound? A. That's right, because that's the name of the first vowel. So when you see that in a word, you know that that's usually going to be the sound it makes. Okay, now this one's a little different. O-Y, boy, oi. That's right, the sound oi. E-E, seed, E. A-Y, play, A. E-A, read, E, because that's the name of the first vowel. O-I, coin, oi. And now I did those out of order. If I was putting those sounds together, I'd have my A sounds here, My E sounds here, and my oi sounds here, okay? Now, which out of these usually comes at the end of a word? It's the ones that end with the letter Y. So AY is usually going to come at the end of a word, like in the word play. EY usually comes at the end, like in the word key. And OY also usually comes at the end of a word, like the word boy. Okay, so those are our vowel teams. All right, good practice with those. All right, let's practice some of our closed syllable exceptions. Remember, this is a review lesson, so you guys are familiar with these closed syllable exception words. OLT, what sound does it make? Olt. IND, what sound does it make? Eind. OST, what sound does it make? Ost. OLD, what sound? Old. ILD, the sound is ild. Okay? Now, these are very similar to glued sounds. A lot of students get them mixed up with our glued sounds, but they're a little different, okay? We actually do tap out each individual sounds. These aren't glued together as one sound, okay? So, for example, olt be olt. It's really hard to hear, okay? The reason that I'll get into the reason why these are closed syllable exceptions after a little bit, okay? All right, so let's read some words. Put these down here. Let's read some words that have closed syllable exceptions in them. Okay, so I'm going to put these up here, okay? I'm going to give you a chance to try, see if you can read it faster than me. Are you ready? Okay, can you see that there? See if you can read it. Scold. Find. Host. Hold. Blind. Mind. Grind. And if you'd have to tap those out, that's fine, okay? But it's better if you can just read them quickly, okay? So for example, grind, if we were to tap that out, G-R-I-N-D, grind, okay? All right, let's try some trick words. These go fast. Remember, these are trick words because we can't use sounds for them, okay? We just got to read them nice and fast. Ready? Goes. Done. And pretty. Very good. Hopefully you did well with those. Okay. All right. So just to review, I'm gonna do a glued sound word, and then we'll do a closed syllable exception, okay? And we're gonna talk about the difference between them, all right? So, for example, if I'm trying to do the word chunk, okay, first I clap it, chunk. It's one syllable. Now I'm going to tap it into its sounds. Ch, unk, chunk, okay? And I said this a little bit wrong earlier, so we do three fingers, but one tap because it's a three-letter glued sound. So unk is a three-letter glued sound, okay? So if I'm doing that word, chunk, ch, unk, okay? Were you right? Of course you were. All right. Now, if I was to do the word child, let me get my whiteboard over here, okay? We'll read this sentence in just a minute, okay? But if I was doing the word child, okay, first I would tap it, ch, I, l, d, okay? All right, so this is where you would pause it, so go ahead and pause it. Okay, were you right? All right, now here's how I'd mark it. Ch. Okay, it gets one mark because it's a digraph. And here's how we'd mark it. This is a closed syllable exception, okay? And here's what makes it a closed syllable exception, all right? Now you remember with closed syllables, okay? So such as the word chat, ch, at. If it's a closed syllable, that vowel can't escape. That's why it's closed. So usually a closed syllable is going to have a short vowel sound. Now the reason that these are exceptions, like ild, old, ost, olt, those closed syllable exception words, the reason they're an exception is because this is actually a long vowel sound. Listen to it. Ch, I, old, child. It made a long, so that's why it is a closed syllable exception, okay? If I was to do the word chunk, ch, unk, okay? This would actually be a closed syllable, but this is a glued sound, so we put a box around the glued sound. But what sound did that vowel make in the word chunk? Okay, made a short vowel sound, all right? And then we'd mark our digraph with one mark, okay? All right, so let's see if you can read this sentence first, okay? Go ahead and read this sentence. I'll give you a minute just to read it. Okay, so this sentence reads, do you want Mrs. Chang to hold your cash? Okay, is that what you read? Of course it is. All right, so can you find a word that is that has a glued sound in it? I'll give you a minute to find it. Okay, that's right, Chang is a closed syllable, but it has a glued sound, ang. Now, see if you can find a word that has a closed syllable exception in it. That's right, hold is a closed syllable exception, okay? Now, we do not put a box around this, okay? But it is a long vowel sound, all right? So very good, all right, good. All right, so let's practice a few words. So remember, it's going to be really important that you know where your pause button is. If you have a touch screen, usually you can just touch the screen if you're using your computer. Usually that long space bar at the bottom of your keyboard will work just fine to pause. All right, so let's do a few words. Let's do a review word real quick. Okay, try the word slick. Now pause it. All right, is that how you wrote it? And this is how we'd mark it. This is a closed syllable. There is a blend, so it gets 2 marks because it has 2 sounds. S-l. It's a short vowel sound. It has to be because it's a closed syllable. It's a short vowel sound. It does not say its name. That's what makes it a short vowel sound. And then we had a digraph at the end. CK, friends, remember CK always comes after a short vowel sound if it's at the end of a word. If it comes right after a short vowel sound and goes at the end of the word, it's going to be a CK in a one syllable word, okay? All right, let's try another one. Let's try the word branch, okay? Remember, clap it, branch. Now tap it. B, and ch. Now pause it and you try. Okay, how did you do? I bet you did great. So this is also a closed syllable word. It's got a blend at the beginning. This has a glued sound here in the middle and then a digraph at the end, okay? All right, now let's get into the closed syllable exception words, okay? Here we go. Let's try the word blind. Clap it, blind. Tap it, b-l-i-n-d. Now pause it and you try. Okay, were you right? Good. So remember, this would be a closed syllable exception, okay? Because even though that I is blocked in, it's closed in, it makes a long vowel sound in this word. And then here's our blend there, okay? IND makes the sound IND, okay? Let's do another one. Let's try the word, let's see. Let's try the word grind. Okay, first you clap it, grind. Now tap it. G-R-I-N-D. All right, pause it and you try. Okay, were you right? This is a closed syllable exception because it's a long vowel sound. Usually if it's closed syllable, it's a short vowel sound. This one is long. And then we got that blend at the beginning, okay? Very good. All right. Okay, let's try a sentence or two, all right? So, Mom will scold the child when he is bold. All right, say it with me. Mom will scold the child when he is bold. One more time. Mom will scold the child when he is bold. All right, pause it and you try to write that. Okay, go ahead and check your spelling. Do you see any of those closed syllable exception words? Okay, like the word scold, child, and bold. Okay, and the word will, like we did from last week's unit, from unit 2, has that bonus letter because it comes after a short vowel sound and it ends with a letter L, S, or F. Okay, all right, let's do one more real quick and then we'll be all done. Okay, let's do, let's see. The trunks were full of gold. The trunks were full of gold. Again, the trunks were full of gold. All right, pause it and you try. Okay, were you right? Now the word trunks is a little bit different because it has that suffix at the end. So remember those words with suffixes, you always clap the base word first. So for example, in this word, the base word would be trunk and then add your suffix. If you try to add the suffix from the beginning, it's going to be really hard to hear all those sounds, okay? And then our other closed syllable exception is the word gold. Very good. Okay. All right. Let's try just a few trick words, all right? Done. Pause it and try. Were you right? Good. All right. Goes. Pause it and try. Were you right? Okay, last one. Pretty. Pause it and you try. All right. So that's going to be it for today. Of course, if you have questions, love to get your email and feedback from parents if you guys are watching this. So thanks for joining me.